Part 9.
Hello, YouTube fans! I'm Stuart MacDonald, and I am going to go over the purple version of the Mirror Act. Now, today is going to be a little different. We're not going to just focus on one particular segment of the act, broken up over several years. We're going to just focus on one version of the act, which is the purple version. That's the version that I competed in 2014 for the hopes of going to FISM, Italy. And I failed miserably on stage. I'll tell you the whole story about that. Now, I want you to subscribe for sure. I want you to encourage others to come to the channel and subscribe. That helps immeasurably. I'm hoping that my production quality will continue to rise, and hopefully we won't have these earbuds anymore. We'll have a nice microphone and a little studio so we can make everything look a lot better. But we're going old school. There's nothing bad with old school because you can only go up from old school. All right, so let's get started. Let's take a look at the act that, the version of the act that I think holds the most promise, because there's so many clever things that are in it that I'm really sad that they're not in the act anymore. And I'll give you all the reasons why. So let's start rolling. So here I am walking out on stage in a purple suit. Now, I'm going to pause it here for a second. The reason why the purple suit doesn't work is that there's price tags on everything, and I've told you this before, I look like a magician. Now, if I'm supposed to be telling a story, I shouldn't be wearing a purple suit. I should be looking like everyman, okay? And let's go to the first effect. Okay, rolling. We pick up this silk, and I'm waving a wand around it. Nothing. See, the audience is already confused because they don't know where I am. And I love this move. Boom. It's so quick. It's a great little introduction. And I see a price tag. All right, I'm going to pay for it and put it there. And now the wand is back. It's a little clever thing, but you know, I just don't want to have the wand for some reason. So I pay for that and I put it in my pocket. I go to the hat. And now look, I'm looking at the audience. And that's a clever move right there. So I'm going to pause it. So what I've done is I've established that I'm in some kind of a store. I'm dressed like a magician. I picked up a silk and I thought it did a clever thing, so I pay for it. But I put it in a drawer that doesn't say pay here. It doesn't have there's no cash register, right? Wouldn't it be better if there was a cash register? The hat on the rack and taking the price tag and making it vanish like that, very interesting. See, I'm a magician that has powers now. Why would I pay for anything? You know what I'm saying? It's like, do I have powers, or do the objects that I'm picking up have powers? I don't know. See, these are questions that kind of, even though the audience might not be asking these questions, there's a level of confusion when it comes to a grand jury looking at your act. Mass public, they're just looking at a magician who's doing clever things. But a jury, they have a different set of eyes. They've seen thousands and thousands and thousands of magicians do little playlets, skills, amazing skills, storytelling, whatever you want to call it. They've seen it all. So when they see a magician trying to tell a story, automatically their brain has switched over to asking questions. Why is he doing this? Why is he doing that? I'm confused by this. I'm confused by that. All right. So let's continue on right now. All right. So we've got, oh, there's a ball inside the hat. Now, this is where Gene Anderson was telling me I'm just a show-off act at this point. And it's true. I'm not telling a story. I'm acknowledging that there's an audience there too. But there's some clever things that are happening. Where did that come from? Oh, it's the wand that was in the table. And I'm just saying, okay, stay there. And this is where I get the idea with the mirror. And this is the moment that starts the whole mirror idea. That I know that I've got something clever and I want to expand on it, but I don't know where the mirror is going at this point in my career. But this ball stuff is all old school. It's an act that I used to do, but I just adapted it to this particular routine. And yeah, there's some clever stuff in it. But nothing new. But yeah, there's some stuff in it today that I look at it and I'm like, okay, that is a clever move. And I multiply another ball in the mirror. Aha! Oh, what, there's a ball on my head. How do I know that it's there? I don't get it. All right, so again, we are showing off. And we're performing to an audience in a store. That's the weird part. Okay, we're going to stop it here. One of the hardest things when you're doing storytelling magic is you have to decide if the audience is part in on it with you, or if the audience isn't there. Now, if the audience is in on it, it doesn't mean it's easier, it's just a different performance style. The hard part about performing without an audience is that when something clever happens, you think that the audience should applaud at that point, but you're not giving the audience cues because they're not there. You're not going, ta-da! So it's a different method, and it's a lot harder. And I'm still learning. Every single show I do, I'm still learning. Oh, this is a point where I should pause a little bit longer and move on from there. All right, so let's go back to the routine. And I'm getting ball after ball after ball, putting it inside, not the hat. Now I'm putting it into the table. And there was a mistake there. I was supposed to have something else happen, but it wasn't there. Now that was a clever piece of magic that the audience really liked. Oh, there's a sign that says magic for sale. Interesting. If you didn't notice it then, you notice it now. So I take the mirror. Why am I so impressed with this mirror? Now you hear the mirror break. And I should have had a more jagged card. It is jagged, but it's more square-like, obviously. But that's cool. That was a nice little bit. You know, take a piece of glass and turn it into a playing card, but then I don't do anything with the card. I just put it in my pocket. Again, a moment of confusion. But there is the card, and oh, now we have two aces. Okay, that's clever. And now they're gone. Oh, wait a minute. Now we have a deck of cards. Why is there a deck of cards? Okay, we're going to pause. So again, those 2 points are disconnected. We have, why am I producing cards out of the mirror? And then all of a sudden, cards appear in my hand, and you'll see what happens next. You don't need the mirror to make the cards multiply. Here we go. Okay, we're going to do a standard card fan manipulation routine. It was really humid that day, so the cards weren't doing what I wanted them to do. And I'm not a card manipulator, but you know, there's a skill section in FISM that you have to do some kind of skill, and that's why I did this. And I'll be honest with you, it was just not very good. And these are manipulation cards, so they're really thin. And I'm used to B deck, and I hate manipulation cards. They're too thin. The way my hands are shaped, they're kind of stubby. Okay, that was clever, pulling the wand out of my mouth. Now we're into what I think is a more interesting skill routine, and let me stop it here for a second. Currently, the only skill that I have in my act is I manipulate my glasses in clever ways, in unusual ways, and I also use what's called the flip stick. And the flip stick makes sense to me because it's a magic wand, and everybody knows what a magic wand is. Playing cards, to me, aren't magical. Making them appear out of nowhere is an interesting talent. It's a good skill to have as a magician, but from the standpoint of storytelling, it's hard for me as a magician to just manipulate cards just for no reason. Just there they are. They're manipulating cards. It's a show of skill. Let's just put it that way. I just could never wrap my brain around producing fans of cards, because from a distance the cards look all white. You know that they're kind of playing cards, but why? You know, it's like Cardini, when he started doing card manipulation, then everybody started doing card manipulation. He was doing them in a little playlet where he was in a gentleman's club. And what do they do in gentlemen's clubs? They play cards, they play billiards, they're doing a little bit of gambling. So it made sense. But here, it makes no sense. Okay, let's jump back in. So the flip stick, a very famous little piece of magic that you don't see that often by magicians, because it is really hard to do. And there's only just a few moves that you can do with it. And here I am trying to get as much mileage out of the flip stick as humanly possible. And oh, there's my glasses. They're attached to the flip stick. Now, I also want to notice the flip stick that I'm using here is really thin. And a clown gave me some advice in a show that I did. She said she even gave the size of the wand. She said it's like whatever. There's a diameter size of dowels, and she already had it in her head. She said you need it to be this much in diameter. And as soon as I changed the diameter of the wand, it just looked better from stage. Now the dancing cane. Now the dancing cane, when I was in the FISM qualifier, it broke. And now if you notice that the lighting had to change, and it's a little more dramatic than I wanted it, but lighting a dancing cane is a pain in the butt. And especially if you're in a magic contest, you only have 10 minutes to light your area. And I've always prided myself on being a really good dancing cane magician, performer, but at the same time, there's so many risks involved. And yeah, there it is. It's all gone. I thought that was a clever ending to the dancing cane. But what am I looking for now? Money, I guess. Am I? Am I looking for money? I don't know. The audience doesn't know. I want to buy this thing. Why do I want to buy the mirror? Oh, that's clever. And wait, there's money in the hat. Now I'm going to pause here. Did you get the understanding that I was looking for money? When I look at this routine, I do not see the correlation of me looking for money and having that cane appear right after I'm looking for stuff, and then I pick up the hat and there's money in it. If I was looking for money, to tell the story a little bit better, open the pockets, look, pause a little bit more, then look down at the hat, and then take money out. Those two should be connected, but I put the appearing cane in between the two, which stops that thought, and then we go back into the hat. And I later cleaned that up, but anyway, let's continue on. Oh, money. Maybe I should multiply the money. Okay. And it's gone. Now that is a bit that I still do because it's so funny. Oh, we're back to the wand. Why? Oh. Why did I put the hat back on? Oh, okay, there's money in it. And a little bit of confetti too. No! Put it back in the other hand. I still do that bit too. And yeah, that's nice. But why did the money come out of the hat? Couldn't you just use the hat as the multiplier? Okay, we have one bag. Okay, am I satisfied with that? I'm going to reach for that, and boom. Now there's two, and yay, I'm done. And again, I'm looking for the audience for applause, and boom, magic for sale, sold. And that's the end of the act. Well, that was my analysis of the purple version. The next version, we're going to go to 30 days later. 30 days later to TAOM. And we're going to do that next week. And that is the version that started a whole snowball of changes that just grew and grew and grew so fast that people in magic conventions were just shaking their head. It's like, this guy is changing his act every few months. And I'm not changing it every few months anymore. I'm just tweaking little things here and there. But that's how you grow your act. And that's where I'll leave it today. I'll see you next week as we go to 2014 TAOM and see how we do there. It's a much better version of this act. All right, please subscribe, smash the like button, and I'll see you next week.